you will need 2 pots. So, chopped up an onion. You don't have to dice it, you just slice it. All right? You heat up about a tablespoon of olive oil. Let it cook for about a minute. Get the onions translucent. And then you add half of the chicken. In this case, I did 1 breast, 1 thigh, 1 wing, 1 drumstick. And you cook it in here until the pink goes away. Probably about, I don't know, I'd say to be safe, maybe about 5 minutes aside. Just until the pink goes away. And then once this is done cooking, you're going to take the entire thing with the onions, pour it inside of this bowl. Right? In there, you put the pot back. You don't have to wash it out. Well, first of all, you got to start off with 2 pots. Okay? That's the most important thing. You start off with 2 pots. One's for the boiling water and one's for the stock. Alright? So make sure you have 2 pots before you start. I'm sorry, the pot that holds the colander is going to be your second pot. Okay? So start off with this one. I cooked it until it's no longer pink. Right? Now, I transferred everything into a bowl with the onions. The pot's still hot. And you take the rest of the chicken, the balance of it, you pour it in without making a mess. All right? You wash your hands. Now you're going to do the same thing for this. You're going to cook it until it's no longer pink. All right? It'll probably take about 5 minutes on each side. All right? But you just, about medium high. All right? Get a nice simmer going. All right? And you leave this cook for about 5 minutes on each side, like I said. As the chicken is cooking in this pot, what you want to do is get about minimum 8 cups of water in this pot and boil it. All right? By the time this chicken is done, this should be boiling. This is kind of like the gauge. This is how I use it. Once this water's boiling, that means this is done. All right? Because
9 cups?
Yeah. There's no problem with making more. Plus once it's cooking and all it's evaporating, That was 4. I think that was 4. 4 times 2, 8. So I add another cup. All right. You just leave that sit. You don't want to start to boil yet, because like I said, that acts as your gauge. All right. All right. Yeah. See, that's nice. All right. So this has been cooking where it's no longer pink. Okay? Take the chicken with the onions from the first batch, put it all in. All right. Mix it up. All right. All right. So take salt, pepper, parsley, fresh parsley. Dump it all in. Mix it. All right. It'll start, you'll start getting juices from just leaving it simmer, so you don't have to worry about distributing it at all. It'll all come together. All right. So now what I did is I turned it on a very low heat. All right. On your biggest burner, very low heat. And what you do is you find your lid that I can't find, and you cover it. All right. It's going to take about 20 minutes to simmer for it to cook. As this is cooking, you take your 8-9 cups of water, and you start boiling it, okay? So by the time this is done boiling, the chicken should be done, and we'll come back to that. That's how it should be looking, but you really don't want to lift it. And this is what you do while the water's boiling. Use these. All right, so it's been about 25 minutes. When I said it doesn't matter how long it cooks, it really does. I'm just saying, you don't. If it's 25 minutes, 30 minutes simmering, it doesn't matter. Okay, but you don't want to. You obviously don't want to cook it all day. So this is very nice. And what you do is you turn this up, make it angry. Take your boiling water and carefully pour it inside. All right. Mix it up, and all the brown kind of, burnt areas, you just kind of want to scrape off of the bottom. Just get all that stuff off. All right, because it adds to the flavor later. All right. It's all about the flavor. All right. Stir it all up. Don't worry about the noisy refrigerator in the back. All right. So that's what you do. Lower the heat as low as it can go. And you're back on for another 20 minutes, simmering. 20 minutes. All right, guys, so here's what we do. We take a paper towel, we put it over our colander, all right, and we put it inside the second pot, all right? Because this is going to capture all your bones and all the stuff that's not wanted inside of the stock, all right? You take the stock that's been boiling and cooking and simmering, and you pour it. All right. You might want to change the paper towel depending on how infiltrated it gets. You take this, all right, squeeze it all out, right? Fold it over, squeeze it all out, get out all the junk that you don't want. Okay. All right, because all you want to end up with is a nice stock, a nice chicken stock at the end. Okay, that's a piece of skin. I don't want that. All right, you take all that and you dump it. All right, dump it. Do your next. All right. More paper towels. Get it all out. There you go. All right. So in the end, you're left with a stock that really has no texture to it. It's just a natural stock. Okay. You take this, rinse it out. All right. We're going to take the chicken. We're going to take the chicken that was strained. We're going to put it in here. Okay. We're going to put it in here in a separate bowl. It's all going to cool down. Okay. Put that in the sink. The stock. All right. All right, make sure it's dry. It's dry. Another tablespoon of olive oil, inside. All right. Turn up the heat.
To what?
Medium high. All right. Let it heat up. right? Got your onions and your celery right here, right? It's been heating up for about a minute or two, right? Dump it all in. Dump your carrots in, okay? And let it cook for a little bit. All right. About 5 minutes. All right. Yeah, a little bit of time. All right. Throw it in. You know, just until it's like fragrant. All right, it's good. All right, so it's been cooking for about 5 minutes. You know, onions are soft, carrots are soft, right? Celery's soft. Take the stock, all right? All right. Pour it inside, okay?
What's the heat on?
All right, the heat's on still medium high. So now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take apart our chicken here, okay? Once the stock is added, you put it to a low heat, and now we're gonna take our chicken, we're gonna tear it apart, right? And we're gonna put it all inside, okay? Take off any obstructions that you have. You just take it, you just start putting it inside. No bones, no cartilage, you know? Just tear it apart, bite size. Start shredding. Right, that's all the stuff that you don't want to use from the chicken. Right. All the good stuff is in here. Okay? Hang on, I'll start it for you. So you see everything's in here. Okay? Now, you take a pasta. You can do one of two things. You can put it inside of here, or you can put it in a separate pot, cook it, and then dump it in here. Personally, I prefer cooking it in a separate pot and then dumping it in. That way you don't have all that starch.
The pasta.
The pasta, right. So I'm going to empty this. I'm going to clean it out. I'm going to put water in here, boil it, put the pasta in, and then put it inside the chicken soup. Yeah. I'm washing out the pot that held all the original stock. All right. So we can boil water, we'll boil the pasta, get all the starch out of it, and then we'll put it inside the chicken soup. All right. Boiling the water for the pasta. You could use any pasta you want. You could use the bow tie. You could use the egg noodle. It doesn't really matter. You could use the orzo. But, you know, the most important thing is you want to get all the starch out of it and then put it inside here. That way you're not eating the starch. So I forgot to add the bay leaves to the stock. Okay? So I'm going to put bay leaves in here while the water is boiling just to get that flavor. And then I'm going to take them out. Okay? So you take your pasta, put it in the boiling water. I added a little bit of salt to this water. And you want to cook it for about 10 minutes. So we'll take it out at 5:30. Right. The pasta cooked for about 10 minutes. It's now al dente. Right? I shut the water off. Take this, strain it. All right? You remove your bay leaves. Take the pasta, pour it inside. All right. Mix it up. And you're pretty much done at this point. You know? You could add cheese, you could add egg, you know. But
Scroll.
yeah, scroll, scroll. But that's the basic chicken soup recipe. Like I said, you gotta add cheese, pepper, red pepper, whatever you want.